Thanks to the support as a channel member, Tim Babbage. Well, I've officially decided that Non-League to Legend and Schalke do not mix because they robbed us of our invincible season. Our local rivals, off camera, robbing us of our invincible season, and I am very upset about it. Hello and welcome to Club 3, part 20 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have both legs of our Champions League quarter-final at Roma, or against Roma, because one of them's at our place. Since you were last with me, this happened. Oh, this happened. I am very upset. It wasn't even a hugely rotated team. As you can see, I mean, we played Pilipovic in goal, Ayadeli at the back, and Hiskey on the left. But otherwise, that's pretty much our best team. And we got FM'd. We out-XG'd them. And, I mean, look at that. We absolutely dominated possession. We could not get a goal. We lost 1-0. We then beat Wolfsburg and Hamburg, absolutely thrashed both of them, and we're going to win the league. We're 14 points clear with 6 games to go. We're going to win the league any time now, but we have lost our invincible season, and Schalke are getting themselves into the Champions League off the back of it as well. So they're having double delight. I mean, I imagine it has a little bit of an edge to it, knowing that we're doing even better than they are, but they're definitely back in this universe. They're better than Bayern Munich, and fair play to them. But we're not worrying about Bundesliga today. We've won that before. That's old news. We're trying to win the Champions League, and Roma are in our way. They're currently 4th in Serie A. So if my theory that other leagues are much better than us is true, they're still going to be quite difficult opposition. You can see Serie A ranked number 2 on the leagues, Bundesliga in 4th place. But we should be able to navigate past them. They don't have Tammy Abraham anymore, so we should be safe from Tammy. I have kind of tried to hide my Roma shirt that's behind the East 5 shirt behind me, so let's just pretend that's not on the wall at all. The Dortmund shirt and the Roma shirt may or may not be touching. But let's go to Rome. In fact, when this video releases, I'm actually going to be in Rome, I think. Is that right? I might not have quite gone just yet, but I'm about to go and see Roma play. Matchday vlog of Roma versus somebody. Sassuolo, I think, coming to the channel very, very soon. I managed them on Twitch earlier this year. But this is the team for the away leg. It's Antonio Carlos in goal. A back row of Van Veen, Suarez, Caldere and Schikowski. Van Eijma, who has just won the Next Gen award and then dedicated it to me. He's a good boy. I'm a little bit worried that some of the big teams are interested in him, but at the moment we're keeping hold of him. Young Dutch player, you'd expect him to end up at Barcelona, wouldn't you? But has he got a release clause? He hasn't, so we just need to hope his head doesn't get turned. The best way to keep him would be to win the Champions League this year, because then what is there to go and leave and do? He may as well just stay here for 10 years and captain us to European dominance. So Van Eijma behind Bellingham and Carrier, Moreira, Herrera and Big Kev as the front 3. You know the team by now. You know this is going to be the team, and we just need to make sure that we keep on doing various football things. That's the plan. So I'm just double triple checking that there's no Tammy Abraham. There is no Tammy Abraham. We're safe. They can't hurt me without Tammy. That's the theory. Although they are on the attack here to start things off. I think, yeah, Roma are the most recent team I've won the Champions League with on Football Manager. We did it earlier this year. If you want to see the entire series, it's all on LOLLUJO 2 here on YouTube. It was streamed live on Twitch. We started in Turkey, managed 3 different teams in Turkey, ended up at Roma and won the Champions League with them. But we've given away a penalty here, so it looks like Roma just good at winning the Champions League, apparently. We need Antonio Carlos to demonstrate why he was worth £144 million here with a penalty save. Can he do it? I mean, that's one of the worst penalties in the history of Football Manager. I could have saved that one, but Carlos will use that to stat pad his penalty save numbers and continue to justify that enormous fee. What was that guy thinking there? You're facing the best goalkeeper in the world and you try and fancy it. Terrible, terrible idea. But Moreira trying to get a counter-attack going, and it's Big Kev and he didn't really have anyone to support him. And I think it's demonstrated by the fact that we then didn't get to see a highlight. We did almost have a corner there, but the highlight just disappeared. So clearly the corner wasn't any good. It has been all Roma early on in this match. And this is where my going away from home in the Champions League playing an attacking mentality might end up costing us, because Roma do seem like a good team, but Carlos has just made another good save. He's turned up today. He was a little bit disappointing in the previous round against Leipzig. I had some stern words to say about him in the last episode, but it looks like he's turned up for this one, and we're going to need him because Roma are constantly on the attack and we are scrambling to keep the ball out of the back of our net there. We've just about got away with it, but it's another Roma corner, and it does very much feel like a goal for them is coming. We're just not getting out of our penalty area. Never mind our half. They are just camped out and causing us all kinds of problems. But Van Ajma wins the ball back. Big Kev has got back to get involved in the defending. Now he's leading the charge for the counter-attack, and he's been clipped there. Send that guy off, ref. That was cynical. That was our first proper attempt at an attack in the entire game, and he just took his feet out from under him. But apparently not even a booking. This is why I'm not a referee. I get too cross. Van Ajma doing well again to intercept. Doesn't have anyone to release with the ball, but ends up finding Herrera, who in turn passes it on to Bellingham, who's tackled, but Schakowski is there backing him up, and now Van Ajma again slots it into Herrera. This is actually our first piece of attacking football in the entire match. We still didn't manage to make it into the Roma penalty area, though, as a part of it. Caldere heads it forward to Bellingham, and now Carrier's got a little bit of space between the defence and the midfield here, and Moreira on the left can't find the cross but gets the ball back again, has the shot, and completely against the run of play, Moreira has put us 1-0 up. Our name is on this trophy this year, boys and girls, because we have looked very much second best throughout the opening 25 minutes of this match. We've had one attack and one shot, and it's a goal. They've had a penalty that they managed to balls up. So, I think we're doing all right so far. 1-0 to us. Lovely, lovely, lovely. The big goal kick is flicked on and dealt with relatively comfortably by our defenders. And now Suarez plays it forward to Moreira, back to Suarez again, and then back to Moreira again. And Carrier once again finding himself in a little pocket of space. He's enjoying a nice little area of space there. And Bellingham now there's a gap. There is a noticeable gap between the Roma defence and midfield. And at the moment, because Van Ajma is playing as well as he is at the base of the midfield, it's allowing Bellingham and Carrier to just live in the gap. And they are starting to cause some problems for this Roma defence. And that is very, very delightful. Very much enjoying that. But we see, that's what I'm saying. Van Ajma winning the ball back, and it just creates so much space in front of him that he's able to basically be the midfield on his own. And then we're almost playing with 5 attackers because Van Ajma's just he's taking care of these two, and their attacking midfielder's not coming back. Their attacking midfielder should be occupying Van Ajma, but he's actually almost stood on their double pivot, which is freeing up all that space in behind. Love what I'm seeing from the boys so far in this match. Although Roma have got the ball again, and that was a demonstration of just how easy it is to get yourself back into a football match. And to be fair, based on how much attacking they've done in this game, they did deserve a goal, but I was enjoying them not scoring. I don't want to see the replay. It's going to make me very, very sad. Right, Carrier plays it forward to Moreira, who's now had his goal cancelled out, but Bellingham in space again finds Big Kev. Lovely first touch from Big Kev, and it's pushed wide by their goalkeeper, and we've got a corner. But that was a lovely first touch to free up some space for Big Kev, and he gave it some welly, and now the corner comes in. It ends up with Suarez, and nothing really comes from it. This has been a very attack-centred football match. Both teams playing very, very forward-focused football. Right, Caldere, I can't remember his name, the new guy, New Mormon at the back, plays it forward to Bellingham. And now Bellingham that's just poor from him. He's looking for Van Veen, doesn't find him, and does put us under a little bit of pressure. And Van Aijma and Van Veen, between the two of them, managed to save us. But once again, look at the space Bellingham's got. Moreira used him to distract the defender and then just carried on his run. And we've won a penalty here. And that's great work from Moreira, who is definitely seems to be up for it. I mean, he, of course, is one of the... I mean, we've not got a lot of them. One of the few players left over in this squad from our previous run to the Champions League final. He'll remember the heartbreak of that match and very much not want to repeat it. And Jude Bellingham from the penalty spot. And that, boys and girls, is how you take a penalty. 2-1, right on the stroke of half time. None of this messing around that you got from Roma. Just score. It's a penalty. Just score a goal. It's easy. Look, easy peasy. 2-1. Give me half time. Look at that for an even match. We've each had 3 shots on target. We've each had about 2.3 XG. It is end-to-end stuff. I mean, as usual, we're completely dominating possession. Almost 70% possession in that first half. And we're the away team. But that's just what we do. We've got this midfield that just controls football matches. Van Aijma, who is at the base of it, and one of the reasons why it's as effective as it is. Carrier now plays it to Van Veen, who's pushing up into that left wing position again that he enjoys spending so much time. It's why Moreira gets as much space as he does, because Van Veen is always forward, basically playing as the winger over there and allowing Moreira to be a spare man alongside Bellingham and Carrier. Schakowski now heads it forward looking for Bellingham but can't find him, and Roma on the counter-attack. They've turned Van Veen there, which is tricky to do because he is very fast and normally can recover, but they got around him there. But the shot wasn't a good one. And now it's Bellingham. There's a lot of highlights in this match. What a football match this must be for the neutrals. Bellingham, once again, trying to conjure something up. Plays it into Herrera, who's got space, finds Carrier. Van Veen is now getting involved. Big Kev throwing his head at the football, and nothing comes of it. But as this game goes on, we are asserting ourselves on it more and more. And you got to believe there's a third goal coming. And if it does come, it's going to be a long, long, long way back for Roma. It was actually Van Aijma at the far post trying to get on the end of that? It'd be very nice if he could add goal scoring to his repertoire, but he's tracked all the way back to get into that covering position that he does. And Antonio Carlos, I thought that was another save, but actually that's gone behind for a goal kick. But he is justifying his price tag today. This is this team playing at its best, apart from up front, where Big Kev hasn't had a great time. So Connor Egan's going to come on. We're also going to bring Ayadele on in midfield, who has now made his England debut and scored twice in his second game for England. So it seems that Ayadele is turning into a goal scorer, which is always nice to see. We're going to bring on Garcia and allow Suarez to go roaming, because I just love it. I love it when he dances forward. Seeing Nicolai Suarez bring the ball out of defence is one of my favourite things in FM24, and I want to see some of it in this match as well. Just get in there and help him control the midfield. That's how we do it. Right, a lot of tired boys now. Right, Bellingham is going to come off. We'll bring Maui on for him, and then Herrera can come off for Hiskey, and that works for me. Hiskey can play out wide as the Raumdeuter. We've got some player roles on here now. We've got a libero, a Raumdeuter, inverted fullbacks. What have I become, eh? Kev only has one tactic. Do I? Very interesting that you say that. We can do it all. We can do it all around here. What they're going to score. Whenever I get too happy and overconfident, they score. Caldera, he's been on a yellow card for most of this match, and I probably should have taken him off to protect him, but he seems to have played with it quite responsibly. And now Moreira, lovely ball into Connor Egan, who inexplicably gives it back to Moreira. He's supposed to be a striker. Oh, that was annoying, because Egan had the opportunity there to grab our third. And I think if we can grab a third there, then we're home and dry, aren't we? But now we've got this back three forming with Suarez alongside Van Aijma just to relieve some of the pressure on him is in the midfield. And there is Egan. This time does get in behind, uses his pace, and Connor Egan, bang, number 14 of the season for him, an 88th minute goal, and that should see us through to the semi-final. Obviously, we've got to do the business again in the second leg, which you'll be seeing in the second half of this episode. But I mean, that's probably quite an important goal for Conor Egan to come on and score. But I'll say it again. What a football match. Just looking at those match stats, this would have been the one to watch on the match select thing on the telly, wouldn't it? That was football going on. It's good to see an Italian team actually trying to win a match rather than playing like a bunch of cowards as well. Love it. Right, we are now going to play Borussia Mönchengladbach, and then we'll be back for the second leg. We might even be able to win the Bundesliga against them. I'm not going to force you to watch Bundesliga matches to try and show that we've already qualified for the Champions League, which in turn has given us an enormous set of budgets for next season. But I'll just let you know as and when we win the league. We know it's a formality at this point. Let's get ready for Roma again. So another win in the league, 3-0 over Borussia Mönchengladbach. We are just about over that finish line now. 5 games to go. We're 14 points clear. We actually play Bayern Munich next, which ordinarily would be a title decider, but they're so far back. We actually have the opportunity to push them out of next season's Champions League and let Schalke in potentially, which, as much as I was moaning about Schalke at the start of the episode, I'd love to see Bayern not qualify for the Champions League just to see what happens. Plus, love to see Pochettino fail. It's one of my favourite things in all of football. But let's go and deal with Roma in this second leg. You know the team by now. It's the first 11 when they're all fit and all available. In fact, it's not the first 11 because Caldere's suspended, so Garcia's in. We have got the 2 left-footers in at centre-back. It'll be fine. Don't need to worry about that. I mean, let's face it, defenders, the least important area of the team. And if you remember, way back now for the transfer special prior to this season, when we were talking about the defence, Garcia was our one elite level defender, and we were looking to find some high level defenders to play with him. We revolutionised our own defence so much that he's very much been a fringe player who sometimes comes in to play left back as an inverted fullback and barely starts at centre back anymore. But having him alongside Suarez was the plan when we originally signed Suarez, and then we realised they were both left footed and probably isn't the best plan. Although really, when you have 2 right footed centre backs, no one has any qualms about those 2 playing together. But when it's 2 left footers, it's weird, isn't it? Don't know why that is. Herrera's put us 1-0 up. That's 1-0 on the night, 4-1 on aggregate. We are heading to the semi-final of the Champions League, and it looks like, I mean, is the draw already split at this point? I'm not sure how it works. Are we playing the winner of that Torino-Inter game? Because I would very much like to avoid Inter because they've been a bit of a bogey team for us throughout I mean, we lost to him in the final. Does that make them a bogey team? I feel like we played them. Did we play them earlier this season? Did we play them in the Club World Cup? Oh, wow. The aliens are back. But it's like semi-aliens. I've never had the aliens present themselves in that manner before. Good old winter update, making things it doesn't fix the bugs. It just makes them a little bit different, apparently. Bellingham failing to win the ball back, and Suarez gets beaten at the far post, but it doesn't matter anyway because the header goes wide. And Antonio Carlos would have had it covered regardless because he is, and I quote myself, he is the best goalkeeper in the world. A few people have said in the comments, possibly the best new-gen goalkeeper there has ever been in Football Manager. He is just, I mean, let me know if you've ever had a new-gen goalkeeper better than that guy. He is pretty special. Still only 23 years old as well, so he's going to get better. As a goalkeeper, he's potentially 10 years away from his prime, which is a scary, scary thought. Moreira into Garcia, and now Moreira's got it back again, plays it across to Bellingham, who finds Big Kev, who's been brought down in the area, but Van Ajmer gives it back, this time to Carrier, and that's 2-0, and that should be job done. Let's have a look at the replay. Come on, replay me. Can we have the replay? There we go. We'll have a look at the replay, and good work from Bellingham. I mean, Big Kev does look like he's been fouled there, but Van Ajmer just pops up everywhere now. He's turning into the complete midfielder. I would love to be able to see what he looks like in 10 years when he's 29. when he's still not as old as Jude Bellingham is now. The great travesty is this midfield three aren't going to be able to play together for 10 years. Van Dijk's 19, Carrier, I think, 23. So those two can be together for a long, long time, probably at Barcelona or somewhere like that. But Bellingham, obviously, is only going to be able to play with them for a few years, which is a shame, because the three of them together forever would have been beautiful. Herrera now trying to get a counter-attack going to add our third of the night. It ends up back with Van Veen, and now Bellingham, who once again has got this little bit of space. He is running today's game. Herrera into Carrier, and it's 3-0. The referee's got his finger in his ear. He may as well just pack it in. We're running rampant, and he just needs to let us do it. Ref, give the goal. Give the goal, ref. Idiot. He doesn't know how to have fun, this referee. We're trying to put on a show. We had the best match of the round of the game night in the previous leg. Now we're just trying to set a high score, and he's getting in the way of my fun. Weirdly, the XG not as high in this match as it was in the previous one, despite the fact we seem like more of a goal threat. The power of having our home stadium and our home fans, and I mean, surprisingly, only 65,000 people cheering us on. I thought the Dortmund ground was bigger than that. I am still trying to get there myself to investigate, but very much reliant on Dortmund progressing in real life in the Champions League, as none of the matches that are currently on the fixture list, I can't go to any of them before the end of the season. So I am kind of relying on them progressing. We're just swapping which side the inverted fullback is on there and letting Ferreira come on and play as a wing back. We have got 3 left-sided centre-backs on the pitch at the same time now, which I don't see how that could possibly cause any problems. But yeah, if Dortmund do progress in the Champions League and then don't play an English team, I should be able to go to the home leg of that, looking at when the dates are likely to be. Of course, if they were to draw an English team at that stage, it's then going to be close to impossible for me in England to get a ticket in the Dortmund end. I could potentially go as an away fan, but it's not really the same, is it? And then I'm taking a ticket off of an actual football fan, limited numbers, that kind of thing. And it's... So, yeah, we need them to progress in the Champions League and not play against anyone from England. That's what we're looking for from Dortmund in real life, so that I can get along and do the matchday vlog this season. Otherwise, we'll just push it into early next season. I will definitely go. It's just scheduling conflicts at the moment. A little bit of scheduling conflict. Right, Herrera, it's still only 2-0 in this match. It looked like we were going to score a ton of goals in that first half. We just kind of slowed things down a little bit. Carrier, though, is really in goal-scoring form today. It's 3-0 now. That's the second from him. He had one that was incorrectly disallowed as far as I'm concerned as well. That should have been his hat-trick. But he has had a very, very strong game. Loving life in central midfield. And Van Dijk's getting involved with an assist again as he continues his progress. All 3 assists from Van Dijk's, who's playing as a ball-winning midfielder at defensive midfield and picked up 3 assists in a Champions League quarter-final. He is the complete midfield player, and we probably need to free him up to play a little bit further forward at some point. Although, to be fair, he's running games from back here, so maybe he doesn't need freeing up to play further forward. But that is us into the Champions League semi-final. We might actually get the job done this year, boys and girls, and then we're going to have to come up with a plan for what's next. But it is Inter. Well, okay, if we're going to win it, we've got to beat them, and then we've got either a big test or a laughing stock in the final. That'll be tomorrow's episode. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.